Hi there. So in this video, I thought I'd share one of my beautiful meditation experiences that I've had. It's funny because every experience I've had is not what I was expecting. So that has been really funny. So the one I wanted to share is actually one of my first ones where I realized that what I was seeing was real, because up until that point I'd had a lot of visions, but I didn't realize that they were real until this meditation. It was the very first one. And actually, When Love Leaves is about all these beautiful awakenings, all these beautiful moments that I've had. And this was the biggest, the first that I had that made it all so real for me. So what happened was I was doing this beautiful meditation with Rika. She was Rika Zimmerman. She has this course, Adventure in Oneness. And actually the course we were doing was the 6 principles that she teaches. So during one of the 6 principles that she teaches, she took us through this beautiful meditation. And as we're going through the meditation, we get to be in the presence of Archangel Michael. So I'm standing there, in this vision, in this meditation, I'm standing in front of Archangel Michael. And he looks amazing, with his huge wings and everything that, Michael is. And this beautiful meditation that we were doing was meant to be for love. We were looking for a symbol of love. That's what we were asking Archangel Michael for. We were going through this beautiful meditation of love. And then when we called him in and we're standing there in front of him as the meditation went, we were meant to ask him for a symbol of this love. He was supposed to give us a symbol. So I'm standing there and he gives me the symbol of a pentagram. And I remember standing there in front of him going, what? How's that a symbol of love? I was really confused at the time, because how you go in, and I always say this to everyone, put your expectations aside, always put your mind aside and just allow things to come through. And this is one of the reasons that I always say this, because at the time, being a meditation of love, I was expecting a love heart or something to do with love, right? You would think. But no, he's in front of him. I could see this beautiful pentagram between the two of us. So we're both standing there, and between the two of us, there's this beautiful, huge pentagram that he'd put up, staring right at me. So I'm going to put a pentagram there later so you know what I'm talking about. It's this star shape. And it's actually a star that you can draw in one full line I haven't learned how to do it properly. I have to really think about it when I'm on a board or on paper trying to draw it. But you can actually draw this whole star in one line without picking up the pen from the paper. So there I am with this pentagram with, Michael in front of me, and I'm thinking, what? How is this about love? I was really confused at the time. And I thought, what am I supposed to do with this, So I left that at that, right? We finished the meditation. It was all beautiful, all the rest of it. And I was feeling full of love, because that's what the meditation was for, full of love. But on top of that, confusion, right? Because I thought, what does this have to do with love? Why am I given this symbol that to me at the time, it didn't resemble anything, it didn't have any significance to me, So I remember thinking, what? And I spent days like that. And after I thought, okay, I'll just, after a while I put it aside as, I'm just imagining it, it wasn't real, right? But then I spent a few days after I got over that was a strange symbol, right? And I kept asking Michael, I kept calling him in and going, oi, were you meant to give me that, or were you meant to give me a love heart? And I just got things mixed up in my, while I was there. And he kept showing me the pentagram, and I thought, so I thought, okay, fine. Anyway, after a few weeks, I looked it up online, and I thought it said it's a symbol of faith. It represents earth, water, fire, and air, and the top point is meant to represent spirit. the spirit, our spirit, right? So I looked at it and I thought, oh, okay. And then I looked up the significance in history and all the rest of it. And it said that it was used as a symbol of faith in the Greeks, the early Greeks, a long time ago. So I thought, okay, symbol of faith. I thought, but the meditation was a meditation of love. So I was like, okay. And then after that, I thought, I kept asking Michael, and he kept showing me the same symbol. So I kept saying, are you sure this is what I'm supposed to be seeing? I kept seeing that symbol. I thought, fine. So this went on for about 3 or 4 weeks. And after that, I thought, oh, I just imagined it. I'm having this imaginary conversation with this imaginary person, right? It's not real. So I dismissed it. I thought, no, it's just in my head. I've made it all up and I'm just going to get on with it, move on with the rest of my life and I'm done with it. Anyway, this was like 6 to 8 weeks later, right? When I've just given up and I thought, no. My mother-in-law calls me one night and she said that she'd been, taken to hospital because she was having heart problems, but now she was being discharged. She was all right. There was nothing wrong, that they didn't need to keep her. So I went and picked her up, and this was about, 8 o'clock at night. And then by the time she was discharged, I'm having trouble with that word today, and I took her home and I came back, it was like after 9 o'clock. But now this is what, got me that, oh, hang on. I came home, and as I always do before I go to bed, there's a patch of grass in the backyard. And I always take my dogs out to do their toilets, before we go to bed, to do their wheeze, do whatever they've got, that they need to do. So then we can go to bed and it's all done, done. We're good for the night. So I called them, doggies, come on, let's go. And we're out there. And as soon as I step out there, outside the back of our house, there's a slab of concrete. It's directly outside. There's 3 stairs that goes down, and then there's a slab of concrete, and then there's the backyard. There's more stairs that take you to the backyard where there's all the grass. So the dogs were off to the grass. But when I got to the back steps and I'm about to step down, I look down at the concrete in front of me, and there were pentagrams everywhere. These 5-pointed stars that Archangel Michael had shown me months before. I was seeing them all over the ground. And the thing was, because I thought I was making up this conversation in my head, I'd never spoken of this conversation to anyone. Nobody knew that I was having this conversation with Archangel Michael. So when I came out and I saw these 5-pointed stars everywhere, and not only were they on the concrete behind, on the slab, on the floor, but as I walked out with my jaw dropped, what's going on? I go out and then I look on the side of the wall of the house and there's pentagrams there. And up the other side of the house, as I walk around, like I'm walking around going, what is going on? There's more pentagrams. There's more 5-pointed stars around the corner of the house. And I came back. The dogs had finally finished, or they probably finished ages ago, but, I was so wrapped up in, I couldn't believe it, right? There were at least 15, 16. I didn't count them. I just couldn't believe there were so many of them. They were everywhere. Anyway, I come into the house and I said to my husband, what's up with the stars in the backyard? And he said to me, he said, we were just out there and he was teaching our daughter how to draw the 5-pointed stars with one line without lifting the chalk off the ground. It was that simple. But I was just blown away that, when you ask, and when you ask from your heart that you really, really want to know, is this true? Is this real? Is this really happening? Am I really having this conversation with you? They will go out of their way. These beings on the other side, the archangels, your ancestors that are on the other side, they will go out of their way to show you that this is real. This is really happening. This is true. Because that symbol, that 5-pointed star, as a symbol of love, I never would have chosen that. I would have chosen a love heart, or I can't even think of anything else I would have chosen, because I love love hearts, I love seeing them everywhere. And when you find them in nature accidentally, in a tomato or in a fruit or in, a vegetable or anywhere, in a leaf, when a leaf looks like a love heart. I love that. It reminds me of the love that's everywhere, But the 5-pointed star, I would never have picked that. And he chose that deliberately. Archangel Michael chose that deliberately because he knew that when I would see them, wherever it is that I would see them, that I would know that it was true. That it was real, that we actually had that conversation. I was actually standing in front of him, when he was giving me that symbol. So for me, that was the first moment of so many, that along the way I'll be sharing. But one of the first moments where I was absolutely blown away by the information that was given to me, and then finding out that it was real, because funny enough, it never occurred to me that many, many years ago, now I've been with my husband nearly 30 years, and it's been longer than that. I was with my cousin one day, and we went into one of those artsy shops, that have the special candles and all the sort of witchcraft sort of stuff, the witchy shops. And in there they had the pentagram, but it's called a pentacle because it's inside a circle. And I had bought the pendant long time ago, like 30 years ago. I don't know why. I went into the shop and I was attracted to that symbol. And for no reason, I just thought it was pretty, a star inside of a circle. Beautiful, because I love stars as well. So I bought that beautiful pendant and I'd been wearing it. And when I met my husband, he fell in love with that pendant and I'd given it to him. And a few years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, he'd lost the pendant. So after Archangel Michael showed me that, I actually bought two pentacles, the pentagrams, the stars inside the circles, which I'll also show you a symbol so you can see the difference. So I bought one for me, and I bought one for him this time so he wouldn't nick off with my one. But I just found it really interesting, how they communicate on the other side to us, and how they will show you in so many different ways, that it is real. They are really talking to you. They are really giving you, guidance. So, a lot of these videos will be about showing you, how to communicate, how to open yourself up to receiving the beautiful guidance, the beautiful assistance that's waiting for you on the other side. So I just wanted to share that beautiful moment came through a meditation that was meant to be for love. And I guess it is. He loved me so much that he gave me a symbol that I would not be able to say. Firstly, I wouldn't be able to say I chose it or I made it up, because I never would have picked that symbol, out of a lineup. If you'd have given me 10 symbols to choose that represent love, to me, that would not have been one of them. It would have been something completely different. So that was a pretty good moment. And it was lovely. It was just really lovely. So I wanted to share that to give you inspiration, that all you have to do is ask. It doesn't have to be through a meditation, although I'm creating lots and lots of meditations for you here as well. But sometimes it can be just as simple as asking. You just sit with yourself, have a quiet moment, and close your eyes, so you just close out all the distractions, and you just ask. Ask whoever it is that you feel called to ask. If it's Buddha, if it's Jesus, if it's Mother Mary, doesn't matter. There are so many beings on the other side, plus all your ancestors are over there, all the ones that have passed away. They're all there. Great-grandfathers, great-great-great-great-grandmothers, all waiting to assist you on the other side. So if you feel a really strong connection pulling you towards a being that's already been in your life, a relative, or it's another one of these beings, like Jesus or like Archangel Michael, if you feel a really strong calling to communicate with them, that's there for a reason. And it's up to you to open yourself up to receiving, to opening up that channel of communication and receiving information from them, receiving guidance, receiving assistance. They can't do it if we don't ask. That's the first step, and pretty much the only step. Ask. we ask, but then of course we have to be open to receiving. And sometimes the information that comes through isn't what we're expecting. So you have to have an open mind, you know, ask and then be open to receive however it is that it comes through. All right, my beautiful beings. So there's a lovely inspirational story for you today that I hope will open up the possibilities for you of what can be for you. All right, my darlings, I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And remember, all of these are in my 4th book, When Love Leaves and Angels Step In. That book was all about these beautiful moments where I've been in meditations and things have just happened. You know, half of them I wasn't expecting, but what came out of them was just so, I've just been so blessed, you know. So that is one of the stories that's in my beautiful book. It was a wonderful story for me. Beautiful Archangel Michael. I love him to bits. All right, my darlings. I love you guys. Bye for now.